So something strange happened in the UK. I think y'all should see this. Check this out.
Ilkley Moor is a vast expanse of rugged moorland that sits about 20 miles northwest of Leeds in England and is renowned for its dramatic landscapes and ancient carved rocks. This area is remote, with its rolling hills and often dense fog. It can be a cool place to take a hike as it has a sort of cinematic, otherworldly vibe to it. And in the late 1980s, a very strange incident occurred here that only added to its mysterious lore. But not only did an encounter with alien beings take place, but there was also photographic evidence to prove it as well. This wasn't your typical UFO image of a strange light in the night sky. No, this one was an actual image of the alien being itself, at least supposedly. It is considered one of the most insane UFO sightings in the history of the UK. It is the extraordinary encounter in Ilkley Moor. On the chilling morning of December 1st, 1987, Philip Spencer, a retired police officer, set out on a walk across Ilkley Moor to visit his father-in-law in East Morton. Armed with his camera and a compass to navigate the often foggy terrain, Spencer embarked on what was supposed to be a routine stroll. The air was cold and the ground was covered with a light frost, typical for that time of year. The sky was overcast, adding to the eerie ambiance of the moor, but at the same time, this made it all a perfect opportunity to capture some beautiful images along the route. As Spencer was making his way up a small hill, he crested the top and he noticed something move along the trail in front of him. It was out of place, and it took him a moment to wrap his mind around if what he was looking at was real, because this was no animal or person for that matter. What stood in front of him was a figure that was about 4 feet tall, dark green in color, with an oversized head and long, thin arms. It stood out starkly against the natural backdrop of the moor at that time of year, which mainly consisted of long brown grass. Initially taken aback, Spencer quickly grabbed his camera and snapped a photo as the creature made a gesture towards him that he interpreted as a warning to keep his distance and stay away. The alien quickly fled after that, disappearing into the fog. While Spencer gave chase, he lost sight of the creature and wasn't able to get another photo. Just moments later, he then witnessed a craft rising from the moor, emitting a loud hum before vanishing off into the sky. And this craft, as Spencer described it, was whitish in color and consisted of 2 saucer-shaped parts attached on top of one another. And this was the most surreal moment of Spencer's life. As he said, it almost felt as if time had slowed down while it was all happening. Philip Spencer, a fake name because he didn't want people to think he was crazy after this, had moved to this remote area in West Yorkshire from London with his wife and child to be closer to his wife's family following his retirement from the police force. A regular family man and former cop, well, Spencer's background lent an air of credibility to his pretty extraordinary tale. And it should be noted that despite the sensational nature of his story, Spencer created that fake name and has always maintained his anonymity, avoiding any sort of financial gain from the incident.
He might be one of the smartest. I never really thought about doing that or ever heard of anybody else doing that. Created a fake name. And that goes to show you, he wasn't clout chasing. He wasn't looking for fame and attention. No, this is something he really saw. But he knew what came with it though. So in that, he was smart.
And this decision to remain anonymous and not profit from his experience adds a layer of authenticity to his account, as it appears he felt it was something that needed to be shared with others, perhaps as a warning, but he definitely didn't want to. Overall, Spencer was known as a practical and level-headed individual, not prone to having a flair for the dramatic. His police training had instilled in him a strong sense of observation and detail, and traits that would prove crucial in recounting his experience on Ilkley Moor. And that photograph that Spencer snapped that morning quickly made the headlines, and soon it was all anyone could talk about. Various media outlets picked up the story, with some proclaiming it as definitive proof of extraterrestrial life. As experts scrutinized the photo, some, including a wildlife photographer and experts from Kodak, found no evidence of tampering, while others, like U.S. Navy optics expert Bruce McCabe, deemed it too grainy for conclusive analysis. And grainy it was for sure, and blurry, out of focus, but when looked at more closely, it does appear to show a small, possibly humanoid-type figure with a disproportionately large head and thin limbs. The creature appears...
That might be the best grainy footage, because we have to classify it as that I've probably seen picture-wise. This is definitely what he described. Look at the arms, the oversized head, the torso in proportionate to the arms in proportion to the legs. Like, what in your mind can you think of out in the wilderness? And I'm asking y'all for real, because I don't go out in the woods like that. What in your mind or your experience have you seen in the woods that looks like that? Tell me. Because based upon the videos I've looked at things in the woods, and I'm not saying it ain't no creatures out there in the woods. It's probably still some we haven't seen, but that? Yeah. Very believable of what he saw.
Appears to be in motion, which likely adds to the blurriness. The background is indistinct, but the contours of the moor can be vaguely made out. To those who believe in Spencer's account, it represents one of the most compelling pieces of evidence of extraterrestrial life. And there were, of course, mixed reviews, though, as skeptics dismissed the incident as nothing but a hoax, arguing the photo could easily be another person, child, or even just a lame cardboard cutout. And really, it's impossible to tell one way or the other. And sure, Spencer didn't try to get money from his story, but money isn't the end-all be-all. Monetary gain isn't the main motivator behind everything people do. And sometimes we just want to have a little fun. And those claiming this is nothing but a fake alien photo point to this fact, saying that perhaps bored in retirement, well, Spencer just wanted to tell a fun story and see how far it went. A thing to talk about with his friends down at the pub over a pint. And if it ever did go south, well, that would also be a good reason to keep his real name out of the public eye, so no one would go looking to smear his family's name. On top of that, people...
Hey, I'm not knocking that side of the story either, or that possibility. I'm not knocking that. That could very well be true. You probably know some people who have done that, created a story just to see how it goes, to become popular, be the center of attention amongst you and your friends. But you think they would keep that? Yeah, that's like trusting everybody to keep his name silent. No, that would 1000% leak, and they would quickly figure out it was him, and it would ruin him. So you still taking a gamble by doing that.
Also question why Spencer hadn't photographed the craft. And surely that would have been easier to snap as it's much bigger, but that would also have been much harder to fake. As the photograph underwent scrutiny, Spencer claimed to be experiencing strange and lucid dreams, prompting him to undergo regressive hypnotherapy with a man named Jim Singleton. Under hypnosis, Spencer's account evolved dramatically from his original story, as he recalled being paralyzed and lifted up into the craft itself, where green aliens conducted medical experiments on him. The memories of being inside the craft were vivid. The sterile environment, the strange instruments, and the feeling of helplessness as the aliens performed their examinations. They also showed him glimpses into the future of our planet, post-apocalyptic images of Earth's landscape ravaged by nuclear war, leading to worldwide famine. They showed him scenes of environmental destruction, wars, and natural disasters. Spencer interpreted these as warnings about the potential future of humanity if we continued on our current path. After recalling all these memories, Spencer then said the creature he photographed was actually waving goodbye, not warning him away as he initially thought. That he thinks he took the image after they had dropped him off back down in the moor. And these aliens, he recalled, communicated with him telepathically, reassuring him that they meant no harm. And so what do you think? Should we heed the warning and work to make humanity better before it's too late, or was old Spencer just looking to have a little fun and things snowballed further than he ever imagined? Maybe it's a mix of both. Regardless, the Ilkley Moor incident remains one of the UK's most famous and debated UFO sightings. It's been included in several of the top 10 UFO incidents in the UK list and continues to be cited as compelling evidence of extraterrestrial visitation. However, the incident's legacy is also marked by skepticism, of course, with many dismissing it as nothing more than an elaborate hoax. Real or faked, the Ilkley Moor UFO incident is a fascinating chapter in the ongoing saga of human-alien encounters. And Spencer's story is not just about a UFO sighting, it's about the human experience of encountering the unknown, the search for the truth, and the struggle we all have between skepticism and believing in something we simply can't prove.
In the mysterious world of psychic research, Ingo Swan stands as one of the most notable figures. A talented visionary, Swan became a leading participant in Project Stargate, a secret US military program aimed at exploring the potential of remote viewing, a form of extrasensory perception that purportedly allows individuals to perceive distant or unseen locations. Among his many remarkable feats, one of the most famous is his remote viewing session in which he described Jupiter in detail before the Voyager probe ever provided the scientific community with images of the gas giant. Swan's descriptions, many of which were initially dismissed, were later validated by Voyager's findings, leading to renewed interest in the possibilities of remote viewing and the capabilities of the human mind. Ingo Swan gained global recognition as a proponent and scholar of the extraordinary capabilities of the human intellect, as well as a prominent participant in governmental and scientific endeavors aimed at exploring and distinguishing the extent of nuanced human perceptions. During the 1970s, Ingo participated in remote viewing studies conducted by the US Army, the CIA, and the Stanford Research Institute in partnership. This covert endeavor is codenamed Project Stargate. Stargate involved Ingo and a team of psychics utilizing their skills to surreptitiously monitor Russia from Palo Alto, California. They even managed to remotely locate a crashed Soviet spy plane beneath a dense jungle canopy in the African nation of Zaire, despite the US Department of Defense declaring it lost. Among Ingo's many distant observations of celestial bodies were those of Jupiter, Mercury, the Moon, and Mars. In 1973, the majority of scientists, academics, and media vehemently objected to further investigation into parapsychology or psychoenergetics. It was unexpected when the nation's second-largest research institute initiated investigations on these subjects. This elicited a significant response due to the think tank, SRI, being widely regarded and established among the military and intelligence sectors. Controlled remote viewing was a method devised and trialed by Puthoff and Targ with CIA financing, allowing viewers to observe a location based solely on its geographical coordinates. Harold Puthoff oversaw the experiment, and according to the study, Swan exercised his cognitive abilities to reach the remote world. The data collection was conducted on April 27, 1973. Ingo observed that Jupiter, situated at a considerable distance of millions of kilometers, was visible in the area to the right of the chamber. He observed its luminous surface emitting an overwhelming brightness. He could scrutinize it from every angle within his mental vision. Initially, everything was perceived in a reduced scale, but then everything underwent a startling exponential expansion. Furthermore, in 1979, the space probe Voyager verified the presence of the Jovian ring system, which had been previously proposed by the Soviet astronomer Sergei Vyshesvatsky in the 1960s. It was Swan who previously furnished the CIA with intelligence pertaining to ancient civilizations on Mars. Upon the revelation by the CIA that the Soviet Union allegedly allocated over $1 million a year for psychotronics research, the Stargate project was initiated in 1970. This experiment has faced severe criticism from skeptics, who frequently fail to thoroughly examine its specifics. The experiment's emphasis on remote sensing of a remote planet was regarded as revolutionary, questioning not only conventional academic perspectives, but also the habitual methods in parapsychology. During subsequent remote viewing sessions, Ingo saw numerous anomalous phenomena on the Moon. He detailed cantilevered edifices, sophisticated machinery, towering skyscrapers, massive cross-shaped constructions, and peculiar tubes scattered over the terrain. Furthermore, he observed indications of what appeared to be mining activities. A clandestine construction of a lunar outpost appeared to have been undertaken by an unknown entity. Ingo also concentrated on a cohort of individuals on the Moon who exhibited human-like characteristics. They were
See? Now, my theories about the Moon and Mars, this makes me nervous hearing that. Because I often pose the question of, is Earth what Mars or the Moon used to look like? Or is Earth heading towards what Mars and what Mars and the Moon looks like now? You get what I'm saying? I often wonder, looking at that planet, if that's where we're headed or vice versa. So maybe Mars or the Moon once did look like Earth. And everything that we have going on now was once taking place there. Hearing that kind of a little bit confirms my thinking. That's scary. Not scary in the sense of it happening during my lifetime, but just that's scary for the planet.
situated within a sort of enclosure and were excavating a cliff. One peculiarity was that they were all entirely devoid of clothing. Unexpectedly, Axelrod, who was supervising the experiment, abruptly halted it. He implied that the celestial bodies on the Moon may have detected their surveillance, and that Ingo may face significant peril if they chose to openly challenge him. Ingo and Axelrod held several clandestine discussions regarding peculiar occurrences on the Moon. The sessions abruptly concluded in 1977, confusing Swan. He contemplated whether he had experienced a psychic vision of a sophisticated lunar facility constructed by extraterrestrial beings. Yet, given the resemblance of the individuals he observed to be unclothed humans, he also speculated that it could be a clandestine terrestrial facility that Axelrod aimed to explore. The mystery remains unresolved, therefore, further inquiries arise. Speculations of extraterrestrials surreptitiously exploiting our Moon evoke analogous assertions regarding extraterrestrials on Earth. James Schnabel recounted in his 1997 book, Remote Viewers, the US intelligence community's engagement in psychic surveillance, which originated in the 1970s. The success of Swan's remote viewing session on Jupiter had profound implications for the field of psychic research. First, it provided rare and tangible evidence that remote viewing could be used to obtain accurate information about distant locations, even those beyond the Earth. While the scientific community remains largely skeptical of remote viewing, Swan's ability to describe details about Jupiter before they were scientifically known stands as one of the most compelling pieces of evidence in favor of the phenomenon. Moreover, Swan's successful viewing of Jupiter opened the door to the possibility that human consciousness is capable of accessing information beyond the five senses, possibly tapping into a universal consciousness or non-local perception. Some theorists believe that remote viewing works by accessing a field of information that exists throughout the universe, allowing individuals to perceive distant objects and events. Swan's experience with Jupiter also raised questions about the limitations of scientific knowledge. In a notable event, the FBI made public a vast collection of files documenting various interactions with unidentified flying objects. Among these records One particular report garnered significant attention due to its detailed accounts not only concerning these mysterious aerial phenomena, but also providing insights into the occupants of these crafts. What would happen if we attacked them and the advanced technology incorporated in the functioning of these spacecraft? The document reads as follows. A very serious situation may develop at any time with regard to the flying saucers. If one of these should be attacked, the attacking plane will almost certainly be destroyed. In the public mind, this might create near panic and international suspicion. The principal data concerning these craft is now at hand and must be offered, no matter how fantastic and unintelligible it may seem to minds not previously instructed in thinking of this type. Part of the disk carry crews, others are under control. Their mission is peaceful. The visitors contemplate settling on this planet. These visitors are human-like, but much larger in size. They are not excarnate Earth people, but come from their own world. They do not come from any planet as we use the word, but from another planet which interpenetrates with our own and is not perceptible to us. The bodies of the visitors and the craft also automatically materialize on entering the vibratory rate of our matter. The disks possess a type of radiant energy, or a ray which will easily disintegrate any attacking ship. They re-enter the etheric at will, and so simply disappear from our vision without a trace. The region from which they come is not the astral plane, but corresponds to the lokes or tails. Students of these matters will understand these terms. They probably cannot be reached by radio, but can be reached by radar if a signal system can be devised." End quote. Numerous individuals who have perused this particular document have expressed that it serves as compelling evidence supporting our understanding of these entities and the advanced technology they possess. Their testimonials indicate a consensus that the content within demonstrates our familiarity with these beings and their technological advancements.
Maybe and I was reading this, that's why I'm answering this. It says part of the disc carries crews, others are, not that one, hold on. Let me see, can I go back to it? Let me see. Yeah, a very serious situation may develop at a time with regard to the flying saucers. If one of these should be attacked, the attacking plane will almost certainly be destroyed. So maybe that's why we don't see, I often question that in videos and different things like that, why we don't see our military engaged. They got to know it's in our airspace, whatever it is, if they pick it up on their radar. So what has told them, or what do they know? What piece of information have they obtained to know that if we attack, if we engage, that will certainly be destroyed and there's nothing we can do with them? It makes sense when you start connecting the dots why you don't see our military engage.
Demonstrates our familiarity with these beings and their technological advancements. Those intrigued by uncharted territories have posited that this constitutes a revelation, highlighting that our authorities have been aware of the existence of these flying vessels for an extended period. In the present moment, there is a prevailing belief that the reluctance of officials to acknowledge awareness of these enigmatic objects stems from the potential apprehension it could instigate among the public. This hesitation to disclose information on such mysterious phenomena is thought to be driven by concerns regarding the impact it may have on public perception. In modern times, a prevailing belief exists that we have surpassed the era where secrecy shrouded discussions about unidentified phenomena. This has led to a growing demand for governmental transparency regarding their knowledge of unidentified objects. Researchers have posited that such documents offer a fascinating glimpse into their knowledge, providing valuable insights and perspectives into their understanding. These scholarly materials not only showcase their expertise, but also shed light on their intellectual depth and areas of expertise. It is interesting to note that these documents are over 60 years old, raising questions about the extent of additional information available regarding this subject in contemporary times. One cannot help but wonder about the wealth of data and insights these historical documents may still offer in the present day. Recently declassified documents from the Central Intelligence Agency have shed light on the government's interest in UFO phenomena, yet many of these documents remain heavily redacted. The CIA's involvement in UFO investigations dates back to around the 1940s, when reports of unidentified aerial phenomena began to proliferate across the United States and around the world. Concerned about the potential national security implications of these sightings, the CIA launched a series of classified programs aimed at collecting and analyzing data on UFOs. In recent years, the CIA has declassified and released thousands of documents related to UFO investigations, offering unprecedented insight into the government's role in studying unidentified aerial phenomena. However, many of these documents contain significant redactions, obscuring key details and information from public view. The primary reasons cited by the CIA for redacting UFO documents are national security concerns, protection of intelligence sources and methods, and preservation of sensitive information. In some cases, redactions may also be made to comply with privacy laws or to prevent disclosure of classified information that could compromise ongoing investigations or diplomatic relations. Moreover, the nature of UFO sightings and encounters often involves sensitive or classified military operations, intelligence activities, or airspace violations, making it necessary to redact certain details to safeguard sensitive information or prevent unauthorized disclosure. The redaction of UFO documents by the CIA has fueled speculation and theories among UFO enthusiasts, skeptics, and the general public. Some believe that the redacted portions contain evidence of extraterrestrial visitation or advanced technology withheld by the government to maintain secrecy and control. Others argue that the redactions are necessary to protect legitimate national security interests and prevent the unauthorized disclosure of sensitive information that could jeopardize ongoing investigations or compromise intelligence sources and methods. However, the lack of transparency and incomplete disclosure of UFO documents by the CIA has contributed to public skepticism and distrust of government agencies, leading some to question the motives and intentions behind the redaction of UFO-related information. In recent years,
questioning the motives. We need a lot more of that going on. I'll be honest with you, bro. The motives. We all think, I can't speak for y'all, but me, I think a lot of that is control, greed, different things like that we've seen countless times within these administrations and these agencies and government and different places. We've seen it. So, but we got to continue to question it.
There has been growing pressure on government agencies, including the CIA, to disclose more information about UFOs and related phenomena. Advocates for disclosure argue that greater transparency is essential to promote public trust, foster scientific inquiry, and advance our understanding of the universe. Moreover, advances in technology, such as improved surveillance systems, satellite imagery, and sensor networks, have made it increasingly difficult for governments to conceal information about UFO sightings and encounters. In an era of pervasive surveillance and instant communication, the truth about UFOs may be harder to suppress than ever before. As of right now, the CIA's redaction of UFO documents reflects a complex interplay of national security concerns, intelligence priorities, and public disclosure policies. While the redaction of sensitive information is necessary to protect legitimate national security interests, it also raises questions about transparency, accountability, and the government's obligation to inform the public about matters of public interest. One of the primary reasons why people are ready for UFO disclosure is the rapid advancement of technology that has made it increasingly difficult to conceal information and evidence of UFO sightings. With the proliferation of smartphones, digital cameras, and social media platforms, individuals now have the ability to capture and share sightings of anomalous aerial phenomena in real time.
The only thing we're missing is the ability to tell the difference between the fake ones and the real ones. That's the only, once we get that ability, they're done. Game over. Checkmate. They're done. We have them at that point.
Creating a vast and decentralized network of citizen investigators. Moreover, advances in satellite imagery, radar systems, and sensor technologies have enhanced our ability to detect and track unidentified objects in the sky, providing corroborating evidence and empirical data to support UFO claims. As technology continues to evolve, the truth about UFOs may become harder to suppress, leading to greater public awareness and demand for disclosure. Another factor driving the demand for UFO disclosure is the shifting societal attitudes towards the unknown and the paranormal. While UFO sightings were once dismissed as fringe phenomena or the stuff of science fiction, they are now increasingly viewed as legitimate and worthy of serious investigation by mainstream society. Part of this shift can be attributed to the growing body of credible witnesses, including military personnel, pilots, and government officials, who have come forward to share their first-hand accounts of UFO encounters. These testimonials lend credibility and legitimacy to the UFO phenomenon, challenging skeptics and skeptics alike to reconsider their preconceived notions and beliefs. Furthermore, popular culture and media have played a significant role in shaping public perceptions of UFOs, with movies, television shows, and documentaries exploring the possibility of extraterrestrial visitation and government cover-ups. As interest in the paranormal and the unexplained continues to grow, so too does the demand for transparency and disclosure from government authorities. At the heart of humanity's readiness for UFO disclosure is a fundamental curiosity and thirst for knowledge about the universe and our place within it. For millennia, humans have gazed up at the night sky, pondering the mysteries of the cosmos and wondering if we are alone in the universe. The prospect of UFO disclosure represents an opportunity to satisfy our innate curiosity and expand our understanding of the universe by uncovering new truths about the nature of reality and the existence of other intelligent beings. By shedding light on the UFO phenomenon, we may gain insights into advanced technologies, alternative forms of life, and the potential for interstellar communication and cooperation. Moreover, the quest for UFO disclosure reflects a broader desire for transparency, accountability, and truth in government and society. As citizens of a global community, we have a right to know about matters that affect our collective well-being and the future of our planet. By demanding disclosure of UFO information, we affirm our commitment to openness, honesty, and the pursuit of knowledge in the face of the unknown. So, what do you make of these mysterious documents? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below.